Your quarterback ain't safe this season. On God.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the CFL podcast. Now, y'all, I know y'all have been waiting a long time for the defensive line depth video on Jackson State, but it's here now, okay? And what better time to tell y'all anyway than, besides it being 2 days from the Orange Blossom Classic. So, here we are. Now, just a disclaimer, on the back end of this video, there's going to be a few guys, mainly a bunch of freshmen, but a few guys who aren't on, their picture's going to be in it. Like, I'm going to put their picture up, but, it's not going to be highlights or any visuals or anything like that, for the simple fact that they either do not have a social media presence or it's really just hard to find. So, I'm going to still acknowledge them and put their picture up and everything like that because they are on the team and Jackson State has a lot of defensive linemen, but I just want to let y'all know, all right? So don't, just in case a family member or something comes in my comments and they like, hey man, what about my cousin such and such? Bro, there was nothing. There was nothing on his social media, bro, at all. So, and a lot of these guys didn't even play in the spring or anything like that. They just haven't suited up for Jackson State yet. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Now, first off, I'm going to go with the starters. And for the first starter, we got Trayvoniggins. I made a video on him a little while back. He's the defensive end who's going to be the starting defensive end for Jackson State. All right, he's 6'3", 270 pounds, and he is a freshman. Keep in mind, he is an FBS transfer from Illinois University. Now, y'all, Trayvon is a powerful run stopper. A powerful run stopper. Okay? And it's important to mention that while he was at Illinois, he did play in one game his freshman year before deciding to transfer. He was one of 6 transfers in 24 hours to transfer from Illinois. So I don't know what was going on with the Illinois program. A lot of those current players just didn't trust Brett Bielema and his recruiting staff, not recruiting staff, but coaching staff, so they all left. All right, so Trayvoniggins, he played a game. You know how the rules go. You can play in 4 games and still retain your red shirt. Anything after that, and it's burnt. I'm excited to see what Trayvoniggins can do, but because we don't have a lot of film on him, the jury's still out on that. We don't know how it's going to go Sunday in the Orange Blossom Classic. Now, next up is Cornelius Miller, all right? The defensive tackle, starting defensive tackle for Jackson State. He is 6'2", 300 pounds, and he is a junior. This dude was a 4-star coming out of high school. Now, y'all, keep in mind, when he committed to Auburn was very happy. Dude was highly touted in the SEC, and Auburn, the fan forums, and all the chats and everything like that, they were very excited to get Cornelius Miller. Cornelius Miller was supposed to be a very big part of their defense at some point in his career. Now, it didn't exactly go that way for him. Now, the reason being is because, he just didn't live up to what they thought he was going to be. And I think a reason for that is till this day, they will still say Cornelius Miller didn't really show as much effort as they would have liked. That is the word from the coaching staff, and according to AI.com, that website that covers Alabama and Auburn sports, they said that he wasn't given the most effort and everything like that. But I think we all know, if you want to play for Coach Prime, you're gonna have to show some effort. If you want to play for Coach Weeks, you're gonna have to show some effort. So I think he's got that down pat now. I think he's done with that. However, that was his problem at Auburn. That's the reason why they didn't really vibe with him after a while at Auburn. However, Gus Malzahn, the head coach of Auburn, did say, we wish Coyness nothing but the best. So, there you have it. Now, his freshman year at Auburn, he had 4 total tackles, 2 of them being solo. And his sophomore year, he had 5 total tackles, 2 of them being solo. Now, keep in mind, when you hear those stats, they had a lot of depth at that defensive tackle position. A lot of depth. In fact, had he stayed at Auburn for his junior year this year, he would have been behind 2 seniors. All right, next up, we got Ketron Evans, okay, the other defensive tackle for Jackson State, because they are running a 4-man front. Now, keep in mind with Ketron, 6'5", 315 pounds, and he is a freshman. He was a 4-star guy coming out of high school. One of the big-time recruits that actually came to Jackson State straight out of high school. Y'all, he had close to 50 offers. 50 offers, Division One. Okay, so I mean, this was a big pull for Jackson State when it happened. Now, he originally committed to Tennessee, but Coach Prime was able to get him to flip his commitment to Jackson State. This we know. All right, he's strong, he's versatile, and he is an imposing player. He will impose his will on any offensive lineman. The only thing that holds me back from Ketron is that he has not played football since 2019. The reason being, his school canceled the football season for 2020 because of COVID. He has not played football in almost 2 years. So, to me, I wonder how he's gonna be able to adapt being 2 years out from football. Okay, because like, yes, you've been practicing, you've been scrimmaging, but we all know you saw what happened with Alcorn. All right, it's a different situation when you're in a game time situation. Okay, and not only that, but you are a freshman, so not only have you not played football since your junior year of high school, but bro, your first game back is against veteran offensive linemen in college football. At the other defensive end spot, we got Antoine Owens, a guy who I am overly excited about. Now, Antoine is 6'4", 210, and he's 10 pounds, and he's a senior. Please keep in mind, this is a guy who is experienced. He's probably the most experienced out of all these guys so far. He's played all 4 years of his college career. All right, he was a 3-star coming out of high school. He's an FBS transfer from Georgia Tech. Keep in mind, his freshman year he played in 8 games, and he had a sack in his debut versus Jacksonville State. Now his sophomore year he played in 13 games, had 21 tackles and a fumble recovery. His junior year he played in 8 games where he had 21 tackles, 10 of them solo, a fumble recovery, and an interception, and a field goal block. But I think his junior year was the year that he suffered an injury, a season-ending injury, which kept him out for the rest of his junior year. So, 8 games in, it looks like he wasn't doing that bad. And because of his senior year in 2020, you know, COVID and everything like that, he played in 6 games, and he had 10 tackles, 5 of them being solo, and he had a fumble recovery. Overall, this is a very solid starting lineup for Jackson State, and I cannot wait to see what these guys do against FAMU and that explosive offense of theirs. All right, now this next dude, I just couldn't wait to tell y'all about. Some of y'all might know who I'm talking about just by saying that, but y'all, Jackson State has a 27-year-old freshman, and I'm gonna explain how. Y'all, he goes by the name of Donald Turley. Now, like I said, he's a 27-year-old freshman, 6'2", 220 pounds. Y'all, after his high school graduation, he went on to serve in the Marine Corps. So, you know how that goes. You do your time in whatever service you'd like to go to, Army, Air Force, Marines, whatever. You do your time there, and when you're done, your school is paid for. So, I'm guessing that's what he did. He went to the Marine Corps. He served his time, and now he's having his whole collegiate career paid for, and he has eligibility. So, while in the Marine Corps, I guess they had this little football league. I don't know. I think it's called the CPFL. But they had this little football league, and he was going absolutely crazy in it. All right. And matter of fact, he was a 2-time all-tournament player. So, I mean, you take that with a grain of salt. You don't really know who he's playing against in this league. So, but we're going to take that for what it is. Y'all, dude is a weightlifting machine, okay? He benches 405 pounds. He squats 605 pounds. He deadlifts 630 pounds. When Donald Turley gets in the game, it's going to be real exciting. It's going to be real exciting to see what he can do at 27 years old. Next up, CJ Nunuli, okay? 6'3", 220-pound freshman. CJ Nunuli, his name has come up a lot in my videos, okay? A lot of people are actually very excited to see what CJ can do. I, for one, am very excited to see what CJ can do. There's really not much you can say on him other than he's a great athlete. Watching this tape, you get very excited, and I just can't wait to see what CJ does. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's not much. It's like I don't have much critique for CJ or anything like that. I really just want to see what he does when he gets on the field. So that's it for CJ. Now, after him, we got Brayshawn Ross. Okay, 6'2", 270-pound freshman. 3-star out of high school. All right, number 5 at his position in the state of Nevada. He had 25 offers, 5 of them being Power 5 schools. And in his high school career, he has 83 tackles, 47 of them being solo, and 17 sacks. That is a pretty good career for being in a prep school. Brayshawn Ross is a guy who is going to see playing time at some time this year. I'm not saying it's going to be in the Orange Blossom Classic. I'm not saying that it's not going to be in the Orange Blossom Classic. I'm just saying when he steps on that field, it's going to be very exciting to see how he does. They have a lot of freshmen who are very touted, very highly touted coming out of high school, who have a lot of talent. And next up, Keyshawn Brinkley, the 6'5", 250-pound senior JUCO product. He's from Colin. Anybody who remembers Colin knows they were on Last Chance U, and they were a part of, I think, that inaugural season where John Franklin, DJ, and the rest of them, remember when they went down to Colin? I think that was their second game of the year, and they had that overtime loss. That was the school that Keyshawn attended. Now, in his Colin career, he had 34 total tackles and 3.5 sacks. Now, he did play in the spring for Jackson State, and he had 3 solo tackles in 6 games. 3 solo tackles in 6 games. So, Keyshawn, definitely a guy that adds really good depth for your program. And, him being a senior, I can't help but imagine that he wouldn't get playing time. Like, I think he has to get playing time. So, being that he's experienced, we're just going to see what he can do. I'm going to say that about everybody. We're just going to see what they can do. All right? Because I got to see how they gel. I have to see how they gel. Now, Jeremiah Williams is the last guy we're going to be talking about today. 6'3", 280 pounds. He's a freshman. He did not play in the spring, but in his high school career, he had 243 total tackles. He also had 21 sacks and 3 forced fumbles to go along with it. So he was very productive in his high school career. Very productive. Y'all, this defensive line group looks promising. It looks promising. A lot of talent from the FBS level, a lot of talent just coming out of high school. Some of these guys were highly touted coming out of high school. I can't wait to see. First of all, if there's any coach that I have a lot of confidence in, it's Coach Weeks. Especially after looking at the documentary. I think Coach Weeks is a no-nonsense type of coach. That's one thing about defensive line coaches that you love, especially being a former defensive lineman. You love coaches who, can show you that tough love, who will curse you out and everything like that, but still care enough about you to coach you up and build you back up and everything like that. So, I'm very excited to see what Coach Weeks can do with this group of guys. Like I said, if I'm talking now, so most likely y'all are seeing the pictures of the rest of the defensive linemen up on the screen. Like I said, the reason why they're not on this list is because, number one, they don't have a social media presence, or number two, I do not think that they'll be suiting up to be in Jackson State. I mean, to be in the Orange Blossom Classic, or, I just don't think that they're going to be on the field. Now, I could be wrong, but I do not think that they'll be on the field. So, y'all, if y'all have made it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate you a lot. I really do. And I ain't gonna hold y'all up no more. I go by the name of Kobe. You are watching the CFL podcast, and I'm out. Peace.